No?
I got an okay, yeah.
No.
Is it hooking up now?
It's not going to Facebook.
I wonder. Every time
Yeah,
I get
yeah.
see the thing, I have to okay that this is being recorded.
No, it's not your end.
Okay.
Okay, it's going. Hang on a second. Oh boy, not a good night tonight.
Yeah.
Get that turned down too, Chris.
Good sound. Yes, I think I do, don't I? That's why. Hey, let's try that this way. Okay, join us on, okay, and we gotta stop sharing and bring us back again. We're live anyway, I think.
Are we
Looks like we are.
live? Are you
I
live?
don't show it on Facebook, but
No, it's not showing
Wait a
it.
minute.
and you gotta share our screens again.
Yep, I can do that right now.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
We're half back.
Hello.
After running that test, I don't know, I guess quite a number of times today, and all went well. Fixed a small problem. Ran a test just about 2 hours ago.
Kind of like football. We're a halfback.
Not working on Facebook, so anyway, good that we have the other option to get everybody over to YouTube. YouTube seems to be solid for us every time.
Come on over. Don't be
Come on
shy.
over, folks. Yeah, come on over, see us. So I just put a post up on Facebook that we are on YouTube. So hopefully everybody will find that and come on over.
Yeah, come on over.
Come on down.
Come on down.
Okay, give me 1 second there, folks.
Don't be shy. We
I know
can
we're
tell you
live.
the reasons why.
Make sure I deal with these things. Okay. Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome back to our Sunday night offering of Astronomy Edutainment, the Sunday Night Astronomy Show.
Hey.
Hey. My name is Chris Gerwin. I'm the creator of the social media channels known as Astronomy by the Bay. I'm also an amateur astronomer and a member of the Royal Astronomical Society of Canada.
Hey.
Hey. I'd like to welcome back my two regular co-hosts this evening, Mr. Mike Powell from the PFO Observatory here in St. John. See, I'm all mixed up here today.
Hello.
And Mr. Paul Owen from the Moonshadow Observatory in beautiful Hampton, Paul.
Hello.
Hey, I'd like to welcome all of you tonight from YouTube. I was going to say and Facebook, but we're not up on Facebook, so wow. Anyway, on tonight's episode of the Sunday Night Astronomy Show. Now, many of us have fond memories of the total solar eclipse of April the 8th of last year, and many have been asking when there will be another similar event. Although the next total solar eclipse over the planet takes place on August the 12th, that one actually comes through Greenland down into Spain and out. We need to wait until May the 1st of 2079 to catch the next one here over New Brunswick.
I'll be ready.
Probably won't get that one, but we'll be ready. Anyway, still, we do have two impressive events on the way in just 19 and 33 days. A total lunar eclipse on March the 14th and a rare partial solar eclipse at sunrise on March the 29th. Now, tonight we're going to talk a little bit about the coming eclipses, why we don't have one every month, what we might expect to see, and some resources to hopefully keep you informed a bit. Also tonight, Bino Bud will return with another fine binocular target to enjoy. Paul's going to deliver another interesting Rosanna's fun fact. I'll have a quick look at some of your photos. Actually, no celestial events this week. I'm not going to bother that part. Too much time spending on the other stuff. Anyway, but your photo submissions are there, and I grabbed as many of them as I could this week. So let's get started then, guys, with tonight's program and a talk around coming eclipses. Who wants to lead up?
Yes.
Don't say me.
We don't want to leave you in the shadows.
That's it.
If we can have a total lunar, then
Yeah.
if it's lined up to do a total lunar, why isn't it lined up to do a total solar?
Crabs have eyebrows.
Hang on a second.
It's just one of those questions. I know that the lunar lines up. Is the sun that much bigger, or the Earth? So the Earth covers the moon for the lunar.
But isn't it just the angle of the orbit? It has to be like everything has to line up synchronicity wise for that to happen.
Well, I think they are. If you're lined up, then the Earth is covering the moon. But I think when it's the other way around, the moon isn't covering the Earth. The moon is so much smaller than the Earth. Then we can have a total lunar because the Earth blocks the sun, from the moon.
Right.
The Earth is so huge. You go on the other side, the moon is so small that it doesn't block all the light. So you're not gonna, you have to have that perfect lineup in order to have a solar. As opposed to the lunar, you don't need a perfect lineup. You could be a little off.
Yeah, because you're passing through the wide shadow that we cast in space, right? A much wider, and the moon is a lot closer to that shadow.
Yeah,
it is when you're looking at the other side. Maybe a little video here might help. Hang on. Which one was going to bring up? I think it was this one.
we think the moon's big, but the Earth is way bigger.
Well, let me share this screen here. And this is kind of helps along the way too to say why we don't have one each month.
Yeah,
This is something from NASA sent out, right? So, and it is one I share with kids when I go to schools and stuff because they ask me too, like, why don't we have one every month? Well, there we are. There's the moon. Our shadow of the Earth gets cast into space about 1.6 million kilometers, and here's the moon shadow, and it's much moon's only 1/4 the size of us, so its shadow would be smaller and it would extend out a lot longer. And the moon is actually in an ellipse as it goes around us too. So there are times when the moon would be in line with us, but it's too far away for its shadow to touch us, right?
yeah.
There are times when the moon is actually like it was back on April 8th. It was just the right distance away that it actually blocked out the sun. The moon is 400 times smaller than the sun, but it's also 400 times closer to us than the sun. So the moon and the sun look the same size in the sky, right? That's why we have eclipses at all. But yeah, simple video, yeah. So that these points that it passes through, the moon is actually not in a straight line like this, a parallel path with us. It's actually either about 5 degrees above or 5 degrees below the plane of our planet as we're passing around the sun. You can see there. So it might be in the right spot and right here, but it might be too far away from the sun to be able to extend its shadow back and touch us, and that would be like an annular eclipse.
Right.
Our shadow extends off into space, but it is, like Mike says, it's quite wide, that shadow. So we've got an opportunity, even though they're always 2 weeks apart too. So we have to pass through those two nodes for it to happen when it's coming from above or to below, and then below to above. Those are the two spots when it can, either a lunar or a solar can happen.
Right.
It has to happen at those points. Hang on to get out of this now. Stop sharing.
Well, I'm glad you know that. Now everybody out there knows.
Yeah, the moon is in an elliptical orbit. It's just like we are elliptical orbit as we are going around the sun. We're closer to the sun right now than we are in the summertime, right? But because it's elliptical, and the moon may pass through the node, they may be lined up, but the moon's shadow may not extend in close enough for it to touch. And that's why the path of the eclipse across the planet is such a small path normally, right? The totality is a small path across the planet. Where the moon is completely in our shadow, and it's the much smaller object and larger shadows extending out into space and pass through that bigger part of the shadow. And I would say that's why, but I don't know. I'm not.
No, I think that answers the question. That makes sense.
We do have a total lunar coming up on the My dates out here. It's March.
14?
Yeah.
14.
Overnight from the 13th into the 14th.
Yeah.
Is the
March 14th. What is significant about March 14th?
That's when the tariffs start. There's going to be a lunar tariff.
Yeah, really.
It's going to be missing 10% of its sunlight.
25%.
There you go. It's a big tariff.
It's going to pass through the umbra, the deeper part of the shadow we cast into space, and on the 13th into the 14th. So it's an overnight event. It doesn't end really until 7 o'clock in the morning. But now the March 29th one is just a partial eclipse. I'm going to show you some of that in a second here. I'm going to try to get this out of this format and get into pictures. Just let me stop share for a sec.
So here's a question while you're doing your flipping and stuff.
Yeah.
The supermoon that we had back in 2015, is it the same amount of time to go from start to finish as this one will be? Or does that vary from lunar eclipse to lunar eclipse?
I would say that it's a shorter time, that one, than this one.
The one back in 2015 was, let me see, 4.5 hours.
Yeah, this one's altogether.
Yeah.
So this is much more. It's 7 hours, I believe. This one altogether.
Yeah, yeah. From when
I
the
actually
moon.
I got that video right here too, so I'll bring that one up.
Yeah, and I'll look that up too because I just want to make sure I got that correct because I'm looking at the thing that I did on it.
Yeah, so here's I got a video here from NASA too on what it's going to look like. Let's go to screen 3 here. Oop. Oop. So here's our view of the lunar eclipse, and these values are actually brought from offered by NASA, and they're actually the universal time too. So these aren't our time. So right now we're 4 hours behind, right? But by the 14th, we should only be 3 hours behind. So 4:55 would really be 1:55 for us. There's the path that it's going to take just through our shadow, but not completely. See, we got a larger shadow, and the moon's smaller, right? So it can fit through that shadow easier.
Yeah, it's not dead center of the moon, the Earth's shadow.
No, right.
So the eclipse would be slightly shorter if that was the answer.
Yeah,
because it's not going the full distance across the whole umbra.
exactly.
Cutting the top off.
But we're close there, so we are a little bit longer than the last one. Yeah.
So what's totality on this one? How long?
I'm going to bring up Sky.
Well, it should just look at your time, right? What?
Yeah, hang on. Again, I'm running about 4 monitors here, Paul.
Yeah, so penumbra's happening now. Penumbral, now we're getting into the umbral.
4:55, deep penumbral, yeah.
Whoa, right there. 5:47 to, keep going.
6:26 totality begins, it says.
Oh, 6:26 till, yeah.
And then greatest eclipse. And there's
Totality ends 7. Okay, so it's
hour
just a little more than a
and
minute.
5 minutes.
For an hour in totality for that long?
Yeah, an hour and 5 minutes.
Now remember, that's not at 6:26 either. It's actually 3:26 in the morning.
That's right. Yeah.
Because that's universal time.
I'm looking at the total lunar eclipse of April 4th, 2015.
Yeah.
I thought that was in September. Anyway, what it's saying is totality is 71 minutes and 55 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess the totality is, it varies, I guess, doesn't it?
Like, now Kurt's on here commenting. He's saying moon's near apogee at that time, so it's smaller and slower.
Right.
A smaller moon farther away from us in its elliptical orbit, right?
Right.
It takes longer to pass through, so that would be the reason why we'd have a little bit longer here. Kurt also says that's Pi Day.
Pi Day.
Yeah. 3.14.
3.14, yeah.
Pi. She's
So the lunar eclipse of 2015, they keep saying the April 4th, but it wasn't April the 4th. It must have been April the 4th in another part of the planet because it was September the 28th when we shot ours.
Yeah. Well, here's what this is why it happens, because the moon is passing through the two parts of the shadow that we cast into space, the lighter penumbra and then the darker umbra. And of course, what that is, why it's turning blood red, is that white light is coming in this way, it's being refracted around the planet and extended out into space, all those red wavelengths. The blues and stuff get scattered in the air, so they give us a nice blue atmosphere. But the blue wavelengths are shorter, so they get refracted easier, and the long red wavelengths gets extended out this way, and then the moon passes through those red wavelengths, of course. So that's why we got a nice, beautiful blood moon, they call it, right? That's okay. I already got that one up, didn't I? Yeah.
I think from start to finish, it's like 5 hours.
Yeah. I think we showed up. Yeah. Okay. So we'll stop there for that part.
Well, no, on the time and date, it says overall duration 6 hours, 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Duration of totality 1 hour, 5 minutes.
So
In 2015, it was 71 minutes. So it's an hour and 10, almost an hour and 12 minutes.
yeah.
This one's an hour and 5.
So there is a variation then. That's interesting. That's what I
Well,
want.
like Kurt said, it depends on how far away the moon is, too, right? If the moon is its farthest apogee, then it's going to take longer to pass through our shadow than if it's closer to us, right?
Yeah.
Same reason why you'd have an annular eclipse versus a total eclipse when the sun.
Right. And at the
closer
same
to the
time,
sun,
this was
right.
also the one in 2015 was also a supermoon.
Yeah. So yours was faster, you're saying?
It
Longer.
was longer.
It was longer. Okay.
Longer. Yep. Yep. That's interesting.
It is interesting.
Yeah.
You would think with a smaller moon, it would be longer.
Yeah.
The partiality, in other words, not totality, was call it 200 minutes. So you divide that by 60, it'll give you how many hours?
Yeah. 3 hours and 20 minutes.
Yeah, and that's about what the time I had written on my graph right here. So, yeah, so that's interesting. So they're not the same every time.
No. Okay. Well, I mean, we're going to be over. Have you got the time and date page up? You guys?
Yeah, I got it up here.
Why don't you share that, Mike, so we can actually see the event happening?
So this one, share. You see that?
Yeah.
So this is the a video from start to finish. So you
Yeah,
can-
so look, can we? Yeah, you can see the time up there in the right-hand corner, right?
Yeah. Now that's UTC, so -3.
Yeah, but from the time to start to finish is going to be the same. The amount of time.
And this is from St. John, so
Right.
So there's totality there.
yeah.
And that's at 6:26. And you're out now, aren't you? No.
There.
Full eclipse ends at 7:31. So it's a little more than an hour and 10 minutes.
Mm.
It is about the same.
Then you're into the boring. Then you're into the boring part where you really don't see much.
Yeah.
It gets more
Yeah.
exciting, of course, when you start to get into quality. Right?
You know what's funny is people will watch the whole thing from penumbral right into full eclipse, and then as soon as it's done, then they leave.
Yeah.
They get to miss
So-
the whole other side.
If I scroll down here, there's where it tells us penumbral magnitude 2.26, overall duration 6 hours 3 minutes from
There
start
you
to
go.
Yeah. So Derek's on here. He says, I think if the moon is closer to the Earth, it's passing through a wider part of our shadow. That makes sense. As our shadow narrows, as our shadow narrows as it goes off into space. That would explain why a supermoon eclipse would be a bit longer, I guess. Because
There
it's
you go.
the wider part of the shadow. Yeah. So it would take longer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because the closer the moon, the larger the shadow, right?
Right.
Yeah, so these are the times here from St. John. So it starts basically at 1 o'clock in the morning, 12:57.
Yeah.
And then it goes through, you get a maximum eclipse at 3:58. And then max ends at 4:31. And then it just tapers away till 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
So,
It really starts at 3:26.
yeah.
What day of the week
Partial
is
starts
March?
at 2:09, yeah.
What day of the week is March 14th going to be?
It's a Friday, I believe. Isn't it Thursday into Friday?
Big March. March,
Yeah, 13th Thursday night into Friday morning. So
Yeah.
it's a Friday morning.
right there.
Perfect. So there's going to be an all-nighter.
I would think, yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah.
you really don't need to be in any place, watching any particular. It's going to be a full moon, so the moon's going to be up,
Yeah.
nice and high. So you'll have
Yeah.
And then if you're wondering, the dark spot right there, they will see total.
yeah. Anybody within
Wow.
that darker spot sees everything. Yeah.
Right. Outside of that, it starts getting
Oh.
partial, then just a skimmer, and then absolutely nothing.
So the only place that's not going to get it in Canada is part of Newfoundland. They'll get it, but they're not going to totally.
Yeah, just touch.
Yeah. All of North America gets to see this one pretty well.
Yeah, right there. She cuts across Newfoundland right on the edge.
Yeah, right down the middle.
Yeah.
Isn't that
That's
interesting?
so so Paul and you, Mike, both got photos behind you that you've.
Yeah, you go ahead and talk about yours, Mike, and I'll do my thing after.
I can't remember the exact date, but that was the one Chris and I went down on Kennebecase's Drive.
Yeah.
And I think it finally ended in sunlight. We was in there, we watched it go through totality and everything, and then it was starting to lighten up, and then the sun started coming up just as the moon was basically setting.
Right.
Yeah.
And it just washed out the last, 20 minutes or so. You couldn't see the moon at all because the sun started to wash it out.
Yeah.
It was cool to watch. It was a good night. Nice and it was nice and crystal clear and quiet. It was cool to see it across the other side of Grand Bay, like over the water, as we're watching it from that perspective. It was
I remember being windy there for a while.
It was, and then it died down a bit.
It
got closer to morning,
The neat thing about it is you don't need anything more than your naked eye to see it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
binoculars, it's fantastic in binoculars.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when I was shooting,
that's all I had that night was my 10x50s and my camera.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. But I put I have a 10 by or 20 by 70s, whatever they are, 15 by 70. I put them on a tripod and on a stabilizer, and then while I was letting the camera do the work, I was just taking views with the binoculars.
Yeah.
Man, it was just unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable to see that.
I don't know, is it this picture right here where it's not quite totality, it's or going in, you get that bright spot almost like the diamond ring when we had the solar.
Oh yeah.
It's almost like the moon gets a diamond ring as well.
Mm.
And then bink, she gone.
Yeah, it's quick with that part of it.
Yeah.
But it's a spectacle. What I really was the fact that the moon, the color that it was to begin with, that blood red or orange. It's more of orange, really, I guess. And but then you get to see very rarely the full moon, but yet all the stars and everything all around it. So if you want to take a wide field shot of the moon with all the stars and not have to play around with blending photos, there's a perfect opportunity.
Yeah. Now the moon's going to appear small in your photos when you've got a lot of background stuff. Still the same as it was before, but
but you choose your focal length though.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, you choose the focal length you want on your camera. So if you've got, say, a 100 to 500 zoom or something like that, then you can have a good amount of space around it if you want, or you can zoom it right in nice and tight. So you've got that whole capability, right?
Right. Well, I mean, it's going to make for a long night, but I mean, a lot of people are going to enjoy it, I'm sure. I'll be out, as long as I get the weather.
Yeah, and that's it. But you know what? Here's some ideas for those who want to do it and have fun doing something. So I took on a little project when I shot that one because I had done what Mike did with his, and you did the collage display and you put it up, and then somebody suggested to me, that looks like it might look like a clock, maybe. Mm-hmm. I said, well, but I've only got so many moons. I said, but I've got all the shots. All I got to do is take 12 phases of the moon. So anyway, I made these clocks.
That's cool.
And I sold a whack of them. But anyway, it didn't cost that much money to make. What you got to do is you go out and you buy a piece of this core board, right? Or you can actually, you buy a piece of the core board, take your photos, and you can take it into a sign maker and tell them the size of the pictures that you want. You make up your photo with all the moons. You put in the clock stuff around it. If you want to label it and, with that kind of stuff, you can do it. You do all that on Photoshop, and then you take your photo into the sign company, and they'll have the core blast like this, and they'll cut those whatever size that you want. Then you just go to like Michael's or any place like that. Maybe not Michael's; they're a little more expensive, but a lot of craft shops, and you just buy those little clocks like this. They go anywhere from $8 to $16, depending on where you buy them. So by the time you get your prints done and everything else, it costs you probably around 25 bucks to make a clock like that, and it's a great thing to keep, nice thing to put up on your wall, and then you can always look back and say, yeah, I shot that, and there it is, a nice little clock. So that's just something simple that anybody can do. And then of course I had a big canvas made of it as well. This one's a little bit more detailed, the time that it happened, the month, and all that kind of stuff, and a lot more moons on it. Shows more phases. So, and in fact, one of these, David Levy has, because I had one printed and we gave it to him. So yeah, but anyway, you can do all kinds of things. So it's nice to view, but you can do all kinds of stuff with your pictures when you're done. So
yeah, cool.
Yeah,
That's a nice keepsake.
Oh, nice. And you've got lots of time to do this one too, right? I mean, you've got over an hour to get that perfect shot.
That's the beauty of the lunar eclipse. It's just not like the solar eclipse where you've got like what do we have, less than 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Here you've got well over an hour.
An hour, yeah.
Or you got all kinds of time to play with settings just to get it right and all that. So
drive around a bit if you need to.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a great thing to share with your neighbors. I had some people come over and watch it because it's really something to behold. It's special. It doesn't happen every month, and
if you get lucky, you get to see 2 red moons at night. And if it comes up on the horizon, bright red,
right, exactly.
On the horizon, and then goes up, clears off to bright, and then all of a sudden get back into that again.
Yeah,
great idea, Mike.
So does it? Can you bring up that time and date again, Mike? Because it might say on that moon set time as well.
Yeah, it doesn't
moonrise, come up. Moonrise, moon set time.
It's not a daytime moon, is it?
Give me a second here.
No, it shouldn't be. It's a full moon.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. It should be setting at the same time as the sun's rising, basically.
Right.
Yeah. So that means you'd have to be there next month, probably right around a little after 6, between 6 and 7, and then you'd be hanging out until what time does it start? 1 o'clock, 12 o'clock?
1 o'clock starts the penumbral. Yep.
Eclipses.
That'd be a great night to hang out at the beach, especially if it's a nice night and it's not too cool.
Spot. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
But it depends on where is it going to be there, I guess, too, where it's rising.
Oh, we talked about that. That's right. Yeah, it might be a little more east.
Yeah, it might be east, might be southeast, northeast.
Yeah.
Usually northeast to east, I guess.
Well, like I said, you might go out around supper time, catch it rising, then go have a snack, coffee, and then go back, even a nap, and then go back over again.
It's almost like a star party, isn't it?
Watch a hockey game, come back.
Yeah, exactly. One that will win for sure.
Yes, you can be talking about your leprechaun stories.
Yeah.
On the 17th, they got St. Patrick's Day coming right up.
Yeah,
that's right too.
So
let's talk a little bit about the solar eclipse then, maybe too. If I can get something up here that I can share for solar eclipse types. Okay, first of all, I'm going to try to share this one because we got to know what we're talking about when we're talking about a partial solar eclipse. No, spare the screen. This one. So what do you mean when we're talking about a solar eclipse? Well, we've really got 3 types of eclipses, right? We've got what we call a partial eclipse, when the moon doesn't quite hit that node quite right, and we've got just a partial blockage, which is what we're going to have coming up, of course. An annular eclipse, when the moon is too far away from us to actually cover the complete disk of the sun in its orbit. And of course, the other one is the total eclipse, like we heard just recently there. Back in April 8th. It seems like it's recent anyway. Back on April 8th, so this one here. So we're going to be looking through the first one, the partial one, of course. What is it going to look like? I think it's going to kind of look like this. This is time and dates framing, I guess. Their short video. So here we are rising at sunrise. It's already going to be partially eclipsed at sunrise. We'll go back there again.
What do they call that? The horns? The
horns, yeah. Maximum eclipse. You've got the times, I guess, Mike, on that.
Yeah.
moves away. So we got a little bit of time here as this is happening, but the quick part is as it's coming up over the horizon. That takes place pretty quickly.
Looking for St. John.
What they say it would look like. This is the one that I'm cheering for that one. I'll turn that off, but there's kind of like the view you're going to get. This is a live view, or not a live, this is a video capture in New Jersey. So that's a set of horns that we're going to see coming up over that's how it's going to appear coming up over the horizon for us. Got anything else to share? You go ahead with that, Mike, first of all.
How comes, yeah, I'll just throw this up. Share. I got time and date up here as well. We got the right screen?
Yep, seen it down.
So partial eclipse begins at 6:26.
And it's on a Saturday morning. Look at that. Yay, everybody. This is something we can all get up and watch.
I won't see anything, but sunrise is at 7:09, and then at 7:18, that's the maximum eclipse, which we'll see sunrise. We'll see this sliver of the sun as it's coming up. That's all we're going to see, and then it'll end at 8:13. And look, it's kind of like we get an extra period of darkness because it's still going to be dark,
Right. Yeah.
except for a sliver.
Look at how quickly that happens too, from 7:09 to 7:18, right? So
Oh yeah, bang! From the time it's up till you can fully see it.
we've only got really a good 10 minutes to catch that part. And then
And it's detailed mapping. I mean, we're just getting a sliver of it. So
yeah, I think we're 80 some percent, I think. Should
Uh,
be there somewhere. Go up a little higher. There, right there. Direction should be in there somewhere.
it should be just
Oh, it's 0.864 magnitude there on the third line down, the maximum.
okay. Yeah.
Maximum
Here's
718. Yeah.
Here's the disappointing part. The average cloud cover on March 29th is 71.
Yeah, but that was about what we were getting on April 8th, I think, too, wasn't it?
Well, let's hope we have the luck we have on April 8th.
Yeah.
Well, that's 29% said it's not going to be cloudy.
Right.
That's right. That's right.
We'll go with that.
Good thought, Paul. Like it.
I'll live with that.
Yeah. So yeah, that's going to be a special event, and I guess another second here. I'm going to try to share something else. They did want to mention. So if any of you are out on Facebook land, you can follow me over here. That's a lunar eclipse. So solar and lunar. So lunar. So lunar eclipse 2025. And as we're getting closer now, I'll be starting to put up more posts here. This is where I'd love to get you to share your photos as well. If you've like that, the New Brunswick 2024 solar eclipse page that I had going for April 8th is still live. If you want to go back and look at it, there's still a lot of photos and videos that were shared out on that page. So I got 300 some members on this one right now. I'd love to build it up so beforehand. So if you want to go out and just put a like on that page, so lunar eclipse 2025, and we will be updating with videos and stuff and what we expect, timing and that kind of thing as we move ahead here. One other final thing I wanted to share was this one. And this is a little contest I got going for kids, just to try to build some excitement. I'm always trying to build excitement for the kids to be looking up. But this is a children's eclipse contest. And these are some of the prizes that are offered, and maybe more, depending on how many entries I get. But basically all I'm looking for is similar to what we had offered before. Have a child, it's for children under 12. Have them draw a picture of what they think the eclipse will look like, or them enjoying the eclipse with themselves or family members or whatever. Either eclipse, doesn't matter, the lunar eclipse or the solar eclipse. And send the pictures in to get your parent to take a photo of it, send the picture into astronomybythebay@gmail.com. And the contest closes on March the 7th. So we get a little bit of time yet, but I'd love to get some entries in, and I'll put as many of those entries up on my cover page and my Facebook page as I can share as it comes. So that's the contest coming up.
Awesome.
Well, that'll be fun for the kids.
Yeah, let's hope. It's,
Don't enter my avatar.
don't forget on this eclipse too, the partial eclipse, although it's 86% roughly, glasses are required.
Yeah.
You need the glasses. Not totality. You can't take them off during the period.
So you can use your glasses that you use from the solar eclipse from the last one. So
Yep.
as long as, but check them, make sure there's no holes in them. Take
Right.
them and hold them up to a light and make sure there's no pinholes or anything like that. Good strong light, and make sure they're safe.
And not just your eyes, your cameras need to be filtered as well.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So a lot of people were taking their glasses and putting it over the lens of their smartphones,
Phones, yeah.
trying that, as well.
Yeah.
We'll probably get the same thing here because here we'll have a partial, so we will have some light, so we will have some sun there for sure. But
Yeah.
ensure that you're wearing glasses and that the kids know too to make sure that the glasses are on.
Yeah.
That's
We'll probably do before that comes up on the show. We'll do a safety etiquette.
right. Now I will be live for the total lunar eclipse on my YouTube channel, I expect, and possibly Facebook if I can get a spot where I've got enough data to be able to share. But YouTube for sure. YouTube seems to be a bit more solid. And well, we'll be offering the partial solar eclipse live too, as long as the weather is right. So it may be offered there and someplace else I'm working on right now, or we're working on right now to see if might get it into a larger audience. So watch for those two. They'll be both on my YouTube channel for sure, and probably Facebook if I can get Facebook to run.
All right. We should probably get to Bino Bud, I would think.
Good. I think we got to get on here. So let's go to Albino Bud. We were a little late starting tonight too. So how about Albino Bud?
I'll slow down for Bino Bud. Alrighty, you should be coming up on the screen here. So binocular target of the week this week is a kind of a special one for me, but I'll explain it as we get into it. So binocular target of the week this week is Hackens 3 or Powell's -3. And I will show you why. Well, on binoculars, this looks more like a McDonald's M rather than a 3. It actually, at this time of year, it looks more like a 3 than an M. I just took a photo of it the other night. But if you look closer to the left of the 3, and you can actually see a minus sign. And that's why I call it Powell's -3, because Packin named it the Packin's 3. Although Sirius is the pointer to the object, it's actually in Monticeros and was discovered by Canadian Randy Packin. The size is about the same as a full moon. So binoculars with a bit of magnification show it best, like a 15x or an 18x, but 10 by 50s, you can see it just as well. So how do I find it in the sky? Well, a nice clear night. Right now, go out, due south 180 degrees, look up at 9 o'clock, and you will see Canis Major. There's the bright star Sirius, the brightest star in the sky. Come across to the top of the doggy and just come straight up from that, and it's right here. Look, you can see there's a 3 or an M, and there's a minus right in front of it.
Yes, sir.
We'll take a little closer look. There's the 3, and there's the minus sign.
Yes, sir.
So I put the minus in front of it. Ha ha. There you go. So what does it look like? Well, you get out this the beautiful colors. It's not going to look like this because you won't see the colors in a pair of binoculars, but man, the colors of these stars, if you photograph it, are gorgeous. And you look here, and sure enough, you get a number 3, and then look, the 3 stars make a minus sign. So I call it the -3. 10 by 50 binoculars, there's your field of view, -3. Compared to the full moon, yep, about the size of the full moon. And again, that's a nice straight line for a minus, and that's a nice 3, or McDonald's M, no matter how you look at it. I go with the -3. And here, are you ready for this one? Why don't scientists trust atoms? Because they make up everything. That's binocular target of the week this week by Bino Bud.
You know what's even funnier than that is the picture.
Yeah, it's the pictures always.
I have yet to see Mike do that ever.
And look, we're 2 minutes and 15 seconds live on Facebook right now.
Yay!
All right,
I just went in and changed a few other settings again. I had done it all before, but boop, up it's up. So whatever.
Oh well. See what happens with it.
We'll see what happens.
Welcome back, everybody.
Hi, everybody, yeah. Why it's all happening all of a sudden here? Anyway,
Yes, sir.
we're almost, well, we haven't really been running for 5 years smoothly, have we? No. Okay, Paul, you're up.
Okay, just give me a second here.
Yep.
I can get things ready. I got to move stuff around to get things on. And let me just get this up here.
Let's see if it's feeding out okay.
Perfect. All right, I'm going to share a moi screen. See if we can make this happen. And, oh, what is all this foolishness? Where'd that come from?
Oh,
Uh-oh.
Oh, well, don't hang
Oh,
up.
fumble. It's gone. I lost my view. Oh, there we are. Try that again. And share.
Nice watch, though.
That is this week's.
No sound.
Hey, welcome back, Rosanna, for another great fun fact weekend. Now, let me just, I got to move things around again. I'll get the first picture up here first, just because. Oh, it's going up twice now. There we go. All right, now I just got to get one more thing up here. Hang on, folks. Where is that? It should be right there. There we go. All right, we're all set. So let's get right into this. So Rosanna writes, "Hi, Paul. How about some good news? There is always interesting good space news out there to counter whatever other news might be coming our way. 2 lunar missions have reached the moon. Firefly Aerospace released this image February the 14th of its Blue Ghost, one spacecraft in orbit around the moon. Now, Firefly Aerospace confirmed on February the 13th that its Blue Ghost 1 lander entered orbit around the moon, performing a 4-minute and 15-second burn of its reaction control system thrusters starting at 8:51 p.m. Eastern Time. The company did not disclose specifics about the orbit, but amateur trackers monitoring its radio signals estimated that the spacecraft is in an orbit between 150 and 5,673 kilometers above the moon. Firefly said that the lander will perform additional maneuvers to move into a circular orbit to prepare for its landing attempt. Landing on the moon is more difficult than one might suspect. The first 14 attempts, all in 1960, were unsuccessful. That's why resilience isn't just the name of the lunar landing mission, it's a characteristic of space explorers all over the world. Even Yoda inspires determination to do, although sometimes it does take a lot of tries. Do or do not, there is no try. Blue Ghost 1 launched January the 15th on Falcon 9 and shared the launch with the Resilience lunar lander from Japanese company iSpace. Resilience, the company's second lander mission, performed a lunar flyby on February 14th, passing about 8,400 kilometers from the lunar surface at 5:43 Eastern Time. Resilience is following a low energy trajectory to the moon, one that will take it as far as 1.1 million kilometers from Earth before returning in early May to perform a lunar orbit insertion burn that will be followed by landing attempt in the Mare Frigorius region of the moon, highlighted in blue. So that's where it's going to make that landing attempt right there. This was released for landing as of yet, or there's no date rather, released for the landing as of yet. Now here is an image of the lunar rideshare. Although originally both Firefly and iSpace planned to launch their moon landers separately, Juliana Scheiman, director of NASA Science Missions at SpaceX, said it was the launch provider that performed the matchmaking. Quote, "In this particular case, both Firefly and iSpace came to SpaceX directly and we paired the 2 payloads together," unquote. The company philosophy is to maximize payload capacity. It was a no-brainer to put them together on the Falcon 9. And obviously, the combining of the 2 landers allowed each customer to reduce their launch cost. It's so nice to see some sensible cooperation happening in the world right now. Another bit of hopeful news for many wannabe astronauts out there. A European astronaut with a physical disability, has been medically cleared for missions to the International Space Station. The European Space Agency announced February the 14th that John Mafal, a reserve member of the agency's astronaut corps, had been certified by the Multinational Medical Board for long-duration mission to the ISS. The certification is noteworthy because McFall lost his right leg in a motorcycle accident at the age of 19 and wears a prosthesis. He is the first person with such a disability to be medically approved to train for the mission to space. More good and rather amazing news. On Thursday, the Korean Aerospace Research Institute, or KARI, announced that it successfully developed a solar sail deployment device. I'll just make that a little larger so you can see it better. There you go. A key component of this system is the deployment device, designed to store the sail compactly and unfold it in space, developed in collaboration with a domestic tape measure manufacturer. The sail can be folded into a compact 20 centimeters by 20 centimeter unit, allowing it to be mounted on a 12 U-cubic satellite measuring 31.4 centimeters in height and weighing 10 kilograms. I can't wait to watch the solar sail unfold in space, although it might be a little bit like a jack-in-the-box moment. Scientists move the crank on the Doomsday Jack-in-the-Box one turn. And scientists move the crank. Isn't that wonderful? And that is this week's
Rosanna's Fun Fact.
Thank you so much, Rosanna. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Landing back on the moon. I love that stuff.
Man, it's just
around the moon again, and just, all that's building excitement again.
Yeah, it's nice to see that. I mean, space exploration has never been so busy. Really.
But it'll be as interesting as it was back in the 60s when, we watched Apollo 11.
Well, it was kind of like buying your first calculator, wasn't it? But now everybody's got computers, and now it's what they can do. And how fast, much better, and more widespread. And that's kind of where we are, I think.
We have a lot of robotic spacecraft out there right now doing a lot of work for us too. So.
Oh my gosh! And then this James Webb Telescope. I mean, the images that we're getting from that is just unbelievable. I mean, Hubble's were beautiful, but the detail and the extra hidden information that you're getting from the James Webb now, just.
But now we get the pair up there. I don't know, Spitzer's still alive or not. I don't know if Spitzer's still going. No, okay. So we got Hubble and Webb that can both look at the same image at different with different wavelengths, of course.
Yeah, because Spitzer, I think, was an infrared scope, and I think
Hubble.
James Webb's got infrared on it.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Rosanna.
Yes, absolutely.
I like that solar sail idea too. Okay, let's share some photos here. I think we'll be able to sign off shortly after. I think. Give me a second here, get my photos opened up.
It's usually easier than signing on, though, isn't it?
Lately, rubbing it in there, Paul. No, it's been. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. I spent over an hour today running people on YouTube.
I don't think it's you. Just maybe it's some kind of a new.
I was running tests, and I kept saying "test, please ignore," and people were joining on and watching. So I got some viewers even on our test. So there's some dedicated viewers. But yeah, it was a number of times. So anyway, I'll apologize for that again, and we'll try again next week. Okay, I'm going to bring up some photos here. We'll get to that part. Forget about the rest of it. Let's bring them up over here. Just going to do it. Actually, sorry, folks. There, that's better quality. Okay.
I can't get in sync with you, Mike. There.
You're the screen.
Yep. Nope.
Well, we'll not name this group In Sync. We are not.
Yeah, let's do it.
Kitchen sink.
Kitchen sink.
There, should be up with one there.
Yes.
Okay, so this one come from Mark Ficken. Yeah, Mark. Oh no, I'm sorry. This is C-Star. Look, he brought in he brought in that one as well. I grabbed that one as well. Sorry,
that's Mark's as well. Yeah.
That's yesterday's sun. There. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Still lots of activity. There's a big X 2.0 here in the corner. I guess late today.
We need something facing us though.
That was going. Yeah, it was all going in that direction. So we missed that one, but still got lots of facing us. But just it's been fairly quiet in that area.
Yeah.
Nice shot though. Anyway, Mark, appreciate that.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah.
Here's this capture of NGC 1499, the Californian.
Yes.
That's another C-Star shot. these sea stars are turning out some. I mean, a lot of the pictures that I'm getting that people are submitting are coming from sea star in one
Yeah.
form. This
Yeah.
is the S30s. That's a wider field of view.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If you're trying
he's
to
got
decide
30.
between the 30 and 50, there is a really good video. If you type S30 versus S50 on YouTube, there's a guy that pops up and he does a real good comparison between the 30 and the 50. Which one did he choose? He said, well, he chose them both, really. He didn't really pick. He liked a lot of the features of the 50 and a lot of the 30. 30 gives you a much wider field of view, of course, but it's cheaper, daintier, I'll say tripod. But he uses both of them on a camera tripod anyway. But anyway, there's a really good video if you're looking at purchasing one.
Yeah.
And of course, it's the price difference too. So, okay, so that's Mark's. Thanks, Mark. I think this is one from David Smart. Just make sure I get them in there right over. Yep. So here's David's capture.
That looks like it was a nice shot he got.
Yeah.
Friday night, he said, "Well, Sea Star was lucky to have this clear sky, something that's very rare." He says in his area.
Yeah.
He's got that one. He's got this one, the Horsehead course.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
M13.
Oh, Hercules.
Wow.
Actually, yeah, this time I don't really think
Nice.
13 is this time of year, but it is.
That's way off to the west.
Those clusters look nice in those little scopes.
They
Eh?
do.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. And this one of Mark Harrigan's chain.
Very interesting, yeah.
Oh, nicely
Very
done.
nice.
Good job.
Very nice.
Thanks, David. Yeah, good job with those. We're going to move from there to.
I wonder, can you change the orientation of those smart scopes?
Can you change the orientation?
Yeah, to go back to his Markarian's chain,
Yeah.
if he was able to turn that into a vertical instead of a horizontal instead of a vertical, he would have been able to get a little bit more space on either side of the Markarians.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think in the.
It's really tight in that framing.
I think they said in the S30, there's a way to turn it a little bit and you'll get what they call.
Yeah. Yeah. Because if you could do that, a lot of those wide targets you could frame a little better if you can twist. If you could turn it like any camera that's sitting in a telescope, you can just turn it to wherever you want to get your shot composed how you want it, right?
I will see if somebody here comments on that.
Anyway, yeah, let's see if somebody can chime in on that. See whoever's got one.
Okay, and we're going to go from there to Robert Cadet's capture of this one here.
Oh, that turned out nice. Eh?
Nice, eh? Yeah.
Yeah, he flipped that after post-processing, that would be my guess.
Yeah. Horsehead Nebula is Barnard 33, small dark nebula in constellation of Orion. This is probably, again, one of the most photographed locations in the winter sky for sure. Flying from the Horsehead and the nebula. The easternmost part is Orion's belt, part of the much larger Orion molecular cloud complex. IC 434 is approximately 422 parsecs or 1,300 light years away from Earth. One of the most identifiable nebula because of its resemblance of a horsehead. Okay, so.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah, very nice. 1 hour and 17 minutes worth of 10-second exposures.
And Paul, in answer to your question, Mark Cheatley added that you can put those in what's called mosaic mode and take your photographs that way to get the width if you want to.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Awesome. Oh, and we got this one from Andy Lebuche.
Oh, yeah.
Bonjour, Chris, he says.
Oh, nice.
We often don't see halos, but this one was a first for me with really long spikes, which is true. Yeah, those long.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's awesome. Did she shoot that today?
Yeah, I guess so. This morning, she said, yeah, 11:30 this morning in India.
Wow, look at
I
that.
didn't see it. Wow.
Nice show of Mother Nature for a few minutes, he said. So
Beautiful.
well done.
Wow, Kurt would love that.
Thanks, Annie. Great to have your submission here. We'll go from there to Jennifer Day LG. Jennifer's getting some nice shots here too. She's
Yes, sir.
some more astrophotography last evening with my 85 millimeter lens on my camera.
There you go.
Look
Now,
at
just
Look at the dark lanes in there.
before you describe that, Chris, can you go zoom right out there? So Mike and I were talking about this before we aired tonight, was the difference between if you had, she's got an 85 millimeter lens, I think is what you said.
Yep.
85?
85 millimeter lens. Yep.
Yep. So there's an 85 millimeter lens. Focal length is 85 millimeters, actually.
Yeah.
And so that versus the C Star, which I think is around 200 or 250, something like that.
We're in there, I think, yeah.
So, but look how much space that she has on her sensor, because we just a second ago looked at Orion, and just the Orion nebula itself in the Running Man, in other words, the pink and the blue in the bottom of that picture,
Mm.
fit the whole field of view on that sea star.
Yeah.
Right? But look how much space you got around when you're using a full size frame and
Right.
it's just a shorter lens, right?
Yep.
So, so this is if you want to shoot wide field, if you already have a camera and a lens, get yourself a tracker, and oh my gosh, you can get absolutely wonderful shots like this.
That's
People
gorgeous.
if they're not recognizing that is the Orion constellation. So here's
Yeah.
just up here, and you've got Rigel down here. This is
Yes, yeah,
I love the dark lanes and the big red curve all the way around the bottom of her
yeah.
right hand side.
Yeah.
Wow.
But look at all the stuff she captured in between.
Oh, everything. Yeah.
Look,
There it is. There it
Yeah.
There. And I love what camera
There's a horse
lenses.
head right there. There's a horse head. Look.
The stars. Look at the stars and the beautiful spikes you get from those lenses. Just absolutely wonderful.
She said, these are the longest exposures I have tried on the Nomad tracker, and I'm pleased with the result. 15 exposures of 90 seconds each at f2.0. ISO was 800.
There you go.
We're stacked in Affinity Photo and adjusted in SETI, Astro Suite, and Photoshop. I still
Yep.
have to learn how to do darks, biases, and flats for better results, but for me, this is an encouraging start, I'll say.
Pinpoint stars.
Well
Oh,
done.
well, yeah. And you know what? Look at the star color. She never lost her star color.
Oh,
They didn't all turn white, right? So
I love
colors are really impressive.
I love the
Excellent
idea you
work.
get the flame
Yep.
rate. That's pretty cool.
beautiful work.
And you can zoom in like that. Yeah.
There's Orion down there. Zoom in on that, Chris.
Well,
Wow.
look at that.
Look at that. The Running Man. Oh, just
Man's
so
in there,
visible,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Beautiful work. Beautiful work.
Let's get the
Yeah, very well done.
medium sitting there. But all the stars are really nice, yeah.
Oh man, those wide
Hey,
fields.
The dark lanes blow me away.
Yeah,
Great
something
work.
I'll say.
Thanks, Jennifer. Great stuff. Keep up the good work. And I think I got one later for her too there. She shared it quite late in the show.
I don't see anything like that in a good day in Boral 5 sky.
I get the Rosette Nebula here from Winston.
Yes, sir.
Oh
Good job,
yes,
Winston.
yes.
Nice job, Winston.
He shot that with his Newtonian.
Right
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, does well. Good job.
Yeah, beautiful.
Thanks, Winston. And we're going to move from there to this one from Ken Mascola.
I
Yes,
guess that's
sir.
crossing. Look at that.
Yeah,
Awesome.
C-Star S50, he says. Hello, Chris. He said, if you have time for it, here's a stacked image I constructed from a 1.4 second video. 1.4 seconds now.
Wow.
It's moving. Segment I took last year, the ISS transiting the moon. Of course, between careful planning and lots of luck with getting a cloudless night and timing of the video acquisition, this image was able to come to life. Started taking video around 5 minutes prior to expected transit and continued until about 5 minutes after. I did not actually notice the ISS shooting across the face of the moon. Of course, that's only 1.5 seconds. So
Oh, you'd never seen it.
no, I'll get home and watch the video on the computer. Once I identified, I clipped out about 3 seconds and then separated the video into separate TIFF files. Gathered the 26 TIFF files that had the ISS in them and then stacked the images. Now, I have to capture a similar event when the ISS is not in the Earth's shadow, that is during not a full moon, as well as need to capture a solar transit with some nice sunspots as well. Dan, that's an awesome shot there.
Very well done.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's a tough one. Yeah,
Yeah, beauty.
that's a framer one right there. Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
I got these two from Dan Copeland. Sent these ones. He's in Hamilton, I believe, and it's just this is his first contributions to the page, but I appreciate it. He catches the
Gorgeous.
sun in Burlington Pier. Send me a
Mhm.
number. I'm going to save a few for next week.
Wow.
Here's another one. Fishing
Awesome.
for the moon. Yeah,
Isn't that great, eh?
it's fun.
So there is water on the moon.
Yeah.
There's a Hamilton Amateur Astronomer Outreach Night in Hamilton. Yeah.
Well done. Nice.
Oh, nice.
Oh, look at that. Nice to see all the scopes out.
Mm.
And we got this one of his lunar eclipse in Hamilton a few years back. He says so.
Yes,
Nice
sir.
together. Yeah.
That's a different
know,
layout.
with,
That's cool.
With that eclipse, that's the nice thing about this, for those who've never experienced a lunar eclipse, total lunar eclipse, is you'll be able to see the moon and the stars all at the same time.
Right.
That's
yeah.
that's what it looked like. So
And
it's a
just,
treat.
again, you got lots of time to catch these phases as they're going through. So if you're just practicing with your camera, what a great time to be practicing and capturing
Absolutely. Yeah, it
this
really
out
is.
there and have a nice memory.
Yeah.
And we do have another one here from Jennifer. So thanks for those, Dan.
It's fantastic.
Jennifer's. Oh no, this is Mike. Sorry, this is
Oh,
Mike's
mine.
capture of tonight's.
Oh, there it is.
Hey, there it is.
-3. So I wanted
Almost -3.
yeah, I wanted to start photographing my binary bud targets. So I thought, I wonder. I went out, stood in my driveway, and of course those trees just to the left-hand side give you a scale. I wanted to get something else in there, but yeah, it's a nice bino target, and there it is. There's a photo of it. So
Right there,
and they're serious.
So they do exist. They do exist. These
They do exist.
Good stuff, Mike.
Wow, that looks great. Nice work.
Just that was a like quick 2-second shot and back upstairs to see if I shows up, and I go, it showed up. And guessing where it was in the sky with a handheld camera. How's that?
Proof of concept, Mike. Proof of concept.
Down there somewhere. Good stuff.
It was fun.
And yeah, this is the other one from Jennifer.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so Jennifer.
Thor's helmet.
Probably too late for tonight's show, but here's my NGC 2359 Thor's helmet that I just finished working on, shot on my Sea Star and processed with Serial. I set Astro Suite and Photoshop. Wow. Big.
It's amazing what you can capture, eh?
That nice, yeah.
Yes, sir.
You're heading down the right path. Good job. All right, and I think that's it. Yeah, so if you have any photos you'd like to share with us, send them into astronomybythebay@gmail.com along with your photos for your Eclipse contest, and we'll be happy to share them on our next broadcast. And coming up, just quickly, this is our map from Lisa's Lookup. You can go to Lisa's Lookup Astronomy and More on Facebook, and you'll find this event listing. She puts out a nice calendar every month, and this is one for February, almost time for March one coming up, I know. But we got a few events coming up at the end of the week down here. 27th, the new moon. Then on the 28th, we have Mercury, Moon, and Saturn appear in a line. Now, Saturn's going to be a really tough one. You'll get Mercury and the moon, but Saturn, maybe, because it's actually behind the sun on March the 12th. So it's getting pretty low in the sky, evening sky now. Pretty hard to pick out, but give it a try. And then you got the challenging young crescent moon in the west on the 28th. So that should be about a 24-hour moon or so, I guess, somewhere around there. So if you want to find out more information about that, go to follow her at Ruby Moonbeams on Instagram, Mastodon, Facebook, Threads, and now on Blue Sky. And Lisa puts out this other calendar as well. She says, check out the highlights for 2025. You include a downloadable copy. So you can go there, download that copy. Lisa's Lookup Astronomy More. She gives you the highlights for 2025 there. And we have our calendar. I think it's in here somewhere. It wasn't here. Where'd it go? Go that way. No, maybe that's it. 1, 2, 3. How is it? Okay, I didn't have the calendar. But anyway, you guys know there's a calendar there too, so we'll do it later. Let me close out of that so I can get back to where we're supposed to be. All right. And I just need another second, guys. Get our closing thing going here. Ready to go? Yeah, I think that's it. So, okay. So that's our program for tonight. Yes, it is. That's our program. It says right there. That's our program for tonight. Anyway, I got no.
Can't see it.
Can't see it. That's good. Good. I'm glad you can't see it because the whole month.
Disappears into the abyss.
Okay. Again, apologies for Facebook, but I can see that part of it's there. So if you want to go catch the rest of the show, you can go back and find it on our YouTube channel. Special thanks goes out to Rosanna once again for another interesting fun fact. Thank you, Rosanna. Special thanks to all of you who share your program, share our program with your friends and family as well. Remember we do love getting your photos, so send them in to astronomybythebay@gmail.com, and we'll be happy to share them on the next broadcast. Won't we, guys? Yep. Don't forget now about my contest. Send your copies into the same address. So until next week, remember, I'm wishing you all clear skies. As we like to say, guys, open your eyes to view the skies and keep your scopes pointed up, folks.
Yep.
Night, everybody. Take care. And we'll go to this screen. How about this one? Yeah, let's go here. I think that'll take us out. This will take us out. Yeah. And we got no sound. Here we go. Wow.